For many people, the pandemic brought on a whole host of new concerns. And one of those concerns might be, what do I do if I cannot pay my taxes? So in this video, I'm going to walk you through a couple of options that the IRS has available to you online. Hi, my name is Adrina. I am the owner and accountant here at Accounting by Adrina. And in these videos, I like to walk you through some of the options that you have available online at the IRS.gov that you might not be aware of. As far as this video is concerned, you can do all of these things from the comfort of your own home. Let's get to it. Now, the first thing that I want to draw your attention to is filing an extension for your tax return. So when you go through this process of filing an extension, you need to understand that the extension is only to file your tax return and it is not for payment. So for example, in 2021, taxes due are May 17th. Now, if you cannot do that, and you file this extension to file your tax return, here's what you need to do. You need to pay as much as you can by the filing date and then pay the rest come October 15th. So this is when the extension of time to file would be due. So if you don't file for an extension to file your tax return, then you will get hit with a 5% late filing penalty per month. So it's always recommended that if you're having issues with filing your tax return, file for an extension to file your tax return, pay as much as you can, and then pay the rest come October 15th when that would be your extended time to file, okay? So I just wanted to make sure that was very front and center. Filing an extension is not a filing for an extended time to pay your tax return. Those are two separate things. So let me talk about what happens if you can't pay your tax bill in full. So if you come over to the irs.gov/payments, there's going to be an option for, an online payment agreement application. Now, when you look at this page, the first thing that you can do is look to see if you do qualify. So this is talking about the two different types of payment plans that the IRS offers. So the first type of payment plan that the IRS offers is a short-term payment plan for those who owe less than $100,000 combined in tax penalties and interest. The second type of payment plan is the long-term payment plan, which is the installment agreement if you owe $50,000 or less in combined tax penalties and interest. I know that sounds confusing, so let's go through this a little bit more in detail. So the short term, here's more information. You can just go to this website. I'm going to go ahead and put a link below so you can read this at your own leisure. But basically, here's all the information that you would need in order to provide for the application process. Everyone's going to need to go through the application process, and you would just click on this button in order to apply for the application process. But I want to cover what does it cost. So we all know that the IRS loves to add penalties and interest and fees and things like that. So it is highly recommended that you do go ahead and pay as much as you can by the filing date. But if you cannot afford to do that, then here's a couple of options. So pay amount owed in full today. So then you would do the direct pay, which we've talked about going to the irs.gov/payments site in order to pay your taxes. The short-term payment plan is 120 days or less. It's a $0 setup fee plus accrued penalties and interest until the balance is paid in full. So they're always going to charge a penalty and an interest, and it just depends on how many days you are late in paying your taxes that will get accrued as interest and penalties. So that'll be the total tax bill, essentially. It's going to add everything up into that. Now, the long-term payment plan is the installment agreement, and this is where you can go ahead and pay a monthly amount. So the pay monthly through automatic withdrawals, it's just going to set it up through your bank account. And this is going to be a $31 setup fee, and it looks like the low-income setup fee is waived, plus accrued penalties and interest until the balance is paid in full. So I wanted to make sure that you're aware that this exists because I don't think a lot of people are aware of this. Now, there is a non-direct debit that you can pay each month, which is $149 setup fee and a low-income option of $43 setup fee, plus, of course, penalties and interest until the balance is paid in full. So all of these options, you would just go down here to click apply/revise and as individual, and that's where you would set up these payment plans. Now, when you go through the application process of creating a payment plan, then, I think as far as my research is concerned, most of the individuals who apply for this do get approved for a payment plan. Now, if there is a more complicated tax situation, then I would definitely recommend hiring a CPA or a tax attorney, because you're going to want to go through some different channels that aren't discussed in this video. So the other thing that I wanted to point you to is that you would be creating an account online through the IRS.gov, and this is where you can find more information. In fact, I would actually recommend that you do this in general, even if you don't need a payment plan, because, for example, there's a couple of clients that I have create this account so that you can view past tax history, and you can actually request a transcript of your tax record to see kind of like the summary of your tax returns. If you have been getting your taxes filed by a CPA or someone else, this is one of those ways that you can double check that their information made it into the IRS.gov. There was a recent issue that I had with a client where their tax return was different from what the account said online. So it's always good to just do a due diligence where you can double check your numbers and make sure that you have your most updated information on hand, that you have downloaded your tax transcripts so you can have that as a reference point for the future. I think that's pretty much it. If you have any questions on any of this stuff, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. All right, friends, I hope this is helpful for you. And if you would like to stay informed and updated on any new videos that I have coming up, don't forget to subscribe to my newsletter, and I'll go ahead and leave the link below. Please feel free to type in your comments and thoughts and questions that you may have on this video in the comment section as well. And I will see you guys in my next video.